Hi guys, it's RLC321. Here I am, I'm back again. This time it's slightly different. I'm going to be doing a tutorial that a friend of mine has asked for from Facebook. He's asked how do I use the Pledge multi-surface wax. Switch that off for a minute. Now with the Pledge multi-surface wax, I use it to gloss my parts with. As an example, let me show you right here. Look how nice and shiny this is. This is the waist part of the Unicorn Gundam. I put gloss black on, Vallejo's gloss back surface primer. Then I used Vallejo's acrylic metal color airbrush aluminium, and then I sprayed the gloss coat over the top. Not only does it help protect your parts underneath, your paintwork and everything like that, but it's good for doing all your panel lines. Then do another gloss coat over the top of it to protect the panel line. Then you can do your decals, and it comes out looking really nice and shiny. So what I've decided to do, a few things you need to know when using this or any kind of spray paints. Wear a mask that is certified for spraying paints, because this stuff is toxic. Even though it's acrylic, it is water based. Always wear a mask. To clean your airbrushes out, this needs ammonia to fully clean it properly, because if it starts curing inside the airbrush, that's it. You've ruined your airbrush, because it goes rock solid. So I use this, which is my own make. And basically all it is about a third 99% isopropyl alcohol, another third windscreen washer that you get for cars, the rest water, and 1 drop of washing up liquid. That's all I have in there. So to show you how to use this, hoping I did do this before, but it wasn't in shot whatsoever, so I'm having to redo it. Now, I've got a spare part here which I've already primed, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to spray some red on it. So I'm just going to get some thinner, put some, don't know if we're there, but yeah, right. Put some thinner in my airbrush. A couple of drops of this red. They should do it. Give it a bit of a mix around. Oh, nice looking. That'll do. Now, just hopefully this I'm going to keep it in shot. With any kind of airbrushing, you want to just do light misty coats first of all, just to get the paint on there. Now I'm not worrying about getting too not technical, but getting everything just right with this. It's just a test. Right, so now that's done, I'm just going to give it a bit of air just to help dry it off, and then I'm going to go over again with just slightly more paint. Oh, now I need to turn my compressor on. That helps. Idiot. Let's wait till it gets up to the pressure I need. Come on. Right, and a slightly heavier coat this time. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint this all red, and I'm only going to do half of it with the fuchsia and half with just the red on it. Right, okay, that'll do. Right, so I'm going to let that dry for a minute, and while I let that dry, I'm going to clean the airbrush out. So I'll be back in a minute. Hi guys, I'm back again. I've just cleaned up my airbrush and just waiting for the part to dry a little bit more. And what I'm going to do, because I'm going to do half and half, I'm going to mask half of it off. With that I'm going to use this pink tack or blue tack or white tack, whatever you can find. I found this quite cheap, but it's pink. Doesn't matter. It's going to do the same job. It's going to help us mask. It also helps us to hold parts together as well. So I'm just going to flatten this out just a little bit, just so I can get it to cover half of this. And let's go with this half here. That should be fine. There. Just do it like that. That will do. So I'm going to gloss half of this, and the other half obviously isn't. Now, with the pledge, you need to make sure your airbrush is at a low PSI. So set it to about 10-15 PSI should be plenty. I'm going for 10. Also, with this pledge, you don't need to thin it or anything like that, just use it straight out of the bottle. Now, I don't recommend pouring it into the bottle because it will, I've made that mistake before and it will spill everywhere. Now, the pledge is a very milky type substance, but trust me, it will go on clear, it will dry clear. That's more than enough. So I'm not worried about a little bit of pink in there. So, with the pledge, also, we don't want it to come out too hard and fast. I don't know if you can see that like that. We don't want it to come out like that. We want it so it's just right. So if you've got one of these, the airbrushes that you can change how much paint is coming through, just change it so there's just enough paint coming through to be a misty layer, because we want to build up the layers on this. Now I'm going to put on my air vent, my extraction fan, because I don't want to breathe this stuff in, and just do very light dusting coats. Right, so that's one. Now just put some air on there to dry it. I don't know if that was in shot, I apologise if it wasn't. Right, then once that's dry, you do another coat. Again, just light dusting layers, then put the air on it to dry it off. Doing it this way, it stops the orange peel coming. If you put far too much on too quick, it's going to splurge and make a nasty, and we don't want nasties. And I don't know, you can probably see that it's starting to shine up already. Again, put some more air on, dry it up. And all it is doing very light coats. Don't try and rush it. If you rush it, I've made that mistake before, it will pull up, it will look horrible, you'll get orange peel effects, and it will not look very nice. And as you can see, I'm always moving my airbrush as well and the part at the same time. We're nearly done. I'm just going to do one more final coat to get a nice shiny shine. You can probably see the reflection in the light already. Alright, now one more final coat. That should be it. Right, so I'm just going to let that dry. I'm going to empty this back into what I had left over back into the pot. Now, as I said before, always use ammonia, like windscreen wash, to clean out your airbrush once you've used this. because it's not nice and it could ruin your airbrush. We don't want your airbrushes ruined. So let's open my paint up a bit more and get that nice and high. There. Right, let's give this a bit of a dry, make sure everything's fine. Right, that should be it. So I'm just going to switch those off and let's unhook this masking. Right, okay. So here you can see, let's get it up to the camera. You can see where one side is flat and where the other side is nice and shiny. Oh, look at that. And that's just like 4 or 5 coats of the pledge. And you can see how shiny it is. And that's pretty much how you use it. Don't be too hasty and try and put loads on. It just won't work. It will pull up and it will not look good. But let's see if we can get up a bit closer here. There, you can see where it's reflecting off of the light above it. You know, and it's really cheap as well. Doesn't cost much. I mean, I spent £5 to £6 on that big bottle, and I've hardly used any of it. And I've painted what 3 or 4 kits with it so far, and I am up to here at this big bottle, and I've got another one sitting over there. So there you go. That's how I use the Future Floor Polish. You can paint it on, hand paint it on with a brush as well. And because it is so thin, it will, I mean, you can see it. I've only just finished it and I'm touching it now and it's not coming off my fingers. Because it is so thin, it will self-level. So you won't see any streaks or anything like that with the brush. But as I say, use it. Don't be scared to use it. And it's cheap if you can find it. I got mine off of Amazon, by the way, because I couldn't find it in any of my stores. But anyway, that's the tutorial for how to use Future Floor Polish. If you have any questions or any more things you'd like me to see or do, please feel free to add a message and I will see what I can do and making a quick tutorial for it. Okay then guys, this is RLC321 saying goodbye, take care, and I'll see you soon. Have a good one.